here is Kyle Kulinski talking about that MAGA rally or campaign stop where the crowd was chanting Genocide Joe. Let's listen to Kyle Kulinski cover that. So let's listen to that.
Key left-wing critique of Joe Biden. And Trump totally goes along with it, goes with the flow, and is like, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. So here, I'll play it for you, and then we'll react. I got a lot to say about this.
Genocide Joe! Genocide Joe! Genocide Joe! Genocide Joe! Genocide Joe!
They're not wrong, he's saying.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong. He's done everything wrong.
He's called Genocide Joe, typically by left-wing protesters, because he is arming and funding Netanyahu of Israel as he does in ethnic cleansing and a genocide of Gaza. 41,000 Palestinians now dead, 36,000 of them civilians, 15,000 children, 9,000 women, has bombed churches and mosques and hospitals and schools and UN buildings and marketplaces and roads. They're doing collective punishment of 2.3 million Palestinians with a medieval siege where they can't get food or fuel or water, even though there's only 30,000 Hamas members. That's why he's called Genocide Joe. His unending support of Israel. Here's Trump talking about this the other day.
Have you spoken to Prime Minister Netanyahu? Obviously, the White House is issuing a stark warning. Do you think that the U.S. is not doing enough to show support for Israel, or are you going to go?
Biden has totally lost control of the Israel situation. He has abandoned Israel. He's totally abandoned Israel. And frankly, you know, he's a low IQ individual. He has no idea where he is and who he's supporting. He doesn't know if he's supporting the Palestinians, but he knows one thing. He is not supporting Israel. He has abandoned Israel. And any Jewish person that votes for a Democrat or votes for Biden should have their head examined.
His key...
So... this is on the fly. I just saw this. So apparently, Kyle Kulinski understand what he's doing here. You might think, he's just showing both sides. No, he's not. This is Kyle Kulinski picking Joe Biden as the lesser of two genociders. To answer a crowd chanting Genocide Joe, to combat that, to respond to that, he brings up something bad about Trump, because the Democratic shield in Kyle Kulinski has to defend, even if it's genocide. And that's essentially what he's doing here. Let's see if he goes down this path. Let's see.
Key criticism of Joe Biden is that, quote, he's abandoned Israel. He's abandoned Israel. People chant Genocide Joe at Biden because he hasn't abandoned Israel. What am I going to do with these people, man? What am I going to do with these people? By the way, I
don't understand the point. This is a jump. This is a great... I mean, I'm going to see if I can put this together. Maybe this is what he's... These are the video clips you're showing are two separate times. The Genocide Joe chant came from the audience. Then you had Donald Trump saying that Joe Biden doesn't support Israel. So I don't understand what one has to do with the other unless you're I don't get it, because even people who support Israel, let's say those conservatives who are watching Trump, can say Genocide Joe if they believe it's a genocide. There's people who know and believe it's a genocide but don't care, like Christian radicals. So there can be a person who's chanting Genocide Joe because it's a genocide about Joe Biden who also supports Israel. That's possible. But let's continue with Kyle.
insult to injury, a little more salt in the wound here. It's from the other day, and the GOP's promoting it. America supports Israel. So if it's Genocide Joe, it is also Genocide Don. And by the way, what would he do different?
Do you see? Do you see? The video is to not say Joe Biden. He's not saying Joe Biden is not committing a genocide. He wants you to go, they're the same. You see how this is Democratic shielding, even in the genocide. Good Lord. Kyle Kulinski is shielding for the Dems, even in a genocide. He's saying if it's Genocide Joe, then it's Genocide Donald Trump. Sir, they're the same. Now, who's the lesser of two? That's literally what he's saying. He's trying to level the genocide field because he sees it's lopsided. So this is the angle he has chosen to pursue. Only but that you're wrong, Kyle, because all you can say is Donald Trump will be a genocider, will be a genocider in theory. That's all you can say about him. We can say Joe Biden is a genocider right now because he's committing it right now with actual dead people. I went in this video blind. Thought it was just only going to be about Trump. But because they're literally chanting Genocide Joe and the Democratic Shield cannot have that, he has to twist this around to make this Genocide Donald. He just needs to put a stamp that says DNC Shield on his forehead.
Differently compared to Joe Biden? My guess is the policy would be almost exactly the same. The difference is Trump wouldn't even put on the show of like, hey, I'm against these war crimes. Hey, Israel should be more targeted. And
so he's explaining how, man, that was a tart raspberry. He's explaining how Joe Biden is the lesser of two genociders. I just stumbled on this. Kyle Kulinski is explaining, and Aaron, if you can use this for the title, Kyle Kulinski explains how Joe Biden is the lesser of the genociders. That's what he's doing.
And not get civilians. My guess is the policy would be exactly the same without the whole dog and pony show where they pretend to care about human rights and international law. And if anything, it's possible it could have been an even greener green light that Trump gave them. Remember, guys, Trump is the one who moved the embassy to Jerusalem. And that was like the straw that broke the camel's back for Palestinians and Hamas. That was a giant middle finger to them. The Abraham Accords.
That was a giant middle finger. Not the genocide, though. That was a giant middle finger. I wonder if anybody else catching this. Catching what he's doing here.
Giant middle finger to them. The whole point of the Abraham Accords was to say fuck you to the Palestinians and try to normalize with other Arab states in the region. And guess what? Trump took $100 million on two separate occasions from Sheldon Adelson, whose main issue was Israel. And Trump basically admitted, yeah, I had Sheldon Adelson running my entire Israel foreign policy. So you want to talk about a corrupt puppet?
Do you guys understand? The video he's analyzing is a video where they're calling him Genocide Joe, but somehow we're talking about Trump.